He came home early, holding a gift meant to fix everything. What he heard behind that door shattered him instead. A metronome ticking like a countdown. A child's breathing, broken and desperate, and a calm voice, too calm, teaching a 4-year-old girl how to suffer in silence. Nathan Cole thought his daughter was sick, fragile, delicate. He believed the lies because they were spoken confidently, because they came from someone who looked like they belonged. Meanwhile, the one person who tried to warn him was ignored, dismissed, reduced to nothing more than the black maid who talked too much. By the time Nathan understood the truth, it was almost too late. Because the real illness wasn't in his child's body, it was in the house, in the silence, in the prejudice he never thought he had. Stay with this story, because what happens next will expose a cruelty so calculated and a courage so unexpected, it will change everything you think you know about power, race, and who truly protects a child. Nathan Cole had built an empire on precision. Numbers behaved when you treated them firmly. Markets responded when you moved first. People, however, were different. People lied quietly. They smiled while hiding rot. Nathan learned that lesson too late. The morning began like any other inside the Cole estate in Greenwood Hills. Clean marble, filtered sunlight, silence expensive enough to feel intentional. Vanessa Hale stood at the kitchen island in pale athleisure, her posture flawless, hair twisted into a perfect knot. She poured a thick green liquid into a glass, the color unnatural, the smell sharp. "Breakfast of champions," she said lightly. At the table sat Lily Cole, 4 years old, too small for the chair, legs dangling. Her pajama sleeves swallowed her wrists. She didn't look up. Her hands were folded tight in her lap as if holding something fragile inside herself. Nathan adjusted his cufflinks and watched his daughter with a tired smile. "Morning, Peanut. Ready for school today?" Lily shook her head, hard. "My tummy hurts." Vanessa slid the green drink toward her. "Her digestion is delicate, Nathan. You know that. The school cafeteria is dangerous for her. Too much sugar, too much noise." She turned to Lily, voice soft but unyielding. "Drink up, Angel." Lily stared at the glass. Her lips trembled. Then she lifted it with both hands and swallowed fast, like someone taking medicine they feared. She didn't gag. She didn't complain. She just placed the empty glass down and stared at the table. A sharp clatter broke the calm. At the far end of the kitchen, Evelyn Brooks froze mid-motion, a tray trembling in her hands. She was in her late 50s, dark-skinned, strong-backed, wearing a faded gray uniform. Her eyes flicked to Lily, then to Vanessa, then to the floor. "Careful," Nathan said distractedly. "The child needs rest." "Yes, sir," Evelyn replied. Her voice was steady, but her jaw tightened. She turned away without another word. Vanessa smiled indulgently. "She's getting old. Don't mind her." Nathan kissed Lily's hair. It felt cold, damp. "I'll be late tonight," he said. "Dallas meetings." Lily slid off the chair and followed him, barefoot on marble. At the doorway, she tugged his sleeve and handed him a folded paper. "I drew this for you." The drawing showed a crooked house, every window painted black. In the center, a small stick figure sat with knees pulled to his chest. No mouth. Nathan's chest tightened. "Why no smile?" Lily shrugged. "I forgot." When he touched her forehead again, it was icy. Vanessa laughed gently. "Detox reaction. Totally normal. I'll give her a steam bath with herbs." Nathan hesitated, then nodded. He trusted systems. He trusted confidence. And Vanessa spoke like someone who knew what she was doing. 30 minutes later, his car turned back. A sudden snowstorm had shut down flights. For the first time in weeks, Nathan felt relief bloom in his chest. He stopped to buy a porcelain doll, pink dress, red bow, a peace offering, a way to fix something he didn't yet understand. Back at the estate, the house was dark, too quiet. "No horn," Nathan told the driver. "I want to surprise them." He entered alone. The silence inside was heavy, pressing against his ribs. No cartoons, no music, no footsteps. He left the gift on the console table and started upstairs. That was when he heard it. Tick, tick, tick. Not a clock, not plumbing, a metronome. He followed the sound to the family room. Vanessa's voice floated through the door, flat, controlled, stripped of warmth. Back straight, focus. A pause. Ragged breathing. "I'm tired, Mommy," Lily whispered. The metronome didn't stop. "Again with the excuses," Vanessa replied calmly. "Your mother Grace could do this for hours. Do you want to disappoint your father?" Nathan's vision tunneled. His hands shook as he pushed the door open. Lily stood on a narrow curved stool, balancing on one foot. Her arms were raised, holding a heavy dictionary. Sweat streamed down her pale face. Her body trembled violently. Vanessa lounged on the sofa, legs crossed, tea in hand, stopwatch resting in her palm. Nathan stepped forward. The door slammed against the wall. Lily startled. Her foot slipped. She crashed to the floor. Nathan dropped the gift and ran to her. "Lily, Daddy's here!" She recoiled. "No, don't be mad. I'll try again. Please don't leave me." The words ripped through him. Before he could speak, Evelyn rushed in. She moved fast, placing herself between Nathan and the child, scooping Lily into her arms. "It's okay, baby," Evelyn whispered, rocking her. "Miss Evelyn's got you." From her pocket, she pulled out a piece of dry bread wrapped in a napkin and pressed it into Lily's hands. Lily devoured it like she hadn't eaten all day. Nathan stared. His daughter, his mansion, his child eating in secret. Evelyn looked up at him, eyes blazing. "She's been standing like that for 4 hours. No lunch, just water. I tried to help. She threw the food away." Vanessa stood slowly, calm, impeccable. "You're exaggerating," she said. "You're just the maid." The word landed like a slap. Evelyn didn't flinch. "I may clean your floors," she said, voice shaking with restraint, "but I know when a child is being broken." Nathan picked Lily up. She weighed nothing. At the hospital, the diagnosis was clear. Malnutrition, electrolyte imbalance, anxiety disorder, induced, not congenital. Nathan's hands bled where he'd clenched them too hard. 6 hours later, he returned to the estate alone. He found the training journal, measurements, punishments, notes in red ink. Then the old photo fell out. A little girl on a beauty pageant stage, crying, a woman watching coldly from the wings. Vanessa. The pattern was complete. Nathan left divorce papers on the table and walked out. Months later, in a rented wooden house in Maplewood, Lily stood barefoot in the rain, laughing as mud splashed her dress. Nathan laughed with her. Evelyn stood on the porch, holding towels, tears on her cheeks. Lily handed Nathan a new drawing. 2 figures, holding hands, both smiling. For the first time, the house had open windows and a voice. Before we continue, let me ask you something, because this story isn't just about them, it's about us. If you were Nathan, would you have listened to Evelyn sooner? Yes or no? Tell me your answer. Your voice matters. The first night after the hospital felt longer than any business quarter Nathan Cole had ever endured. The rented house in Maplewood was quiet in a way that felt unfamiliar. No echoing marble halls, no security cameras humming softly in the corners. Just creaking wood, a ticking kitchen clock, and Lily's shallow breathing from the bedroom down the hall. Nathan sat on the edge of the couch, elbows on his knees, staring at his hands. They still smelled faintly of antiseptic and rain. Evelyn Brooks moved through the small kitchen with practiced care. She had insisted on staying. "Just until she sleeps easy," she'd said. Not asking, telling. Nathan hadn't argued. Earlier that evening, Lily had refused dinner. She'd poked at the soup, counted each spoonful under her breath, then whispered, "That's enough. I don't want to be bad." Nathan's chest had cracked open. Now, as midnight crept past, Lily whimpered in her sleep. Nathan stood instantly, but Evelyn was already there. She slipped into the room quietly, sat on the floor beside the bed, and began humming an old tune, low, steady, grounding. Lily's breathing slowed. Nathan watched from the doorway. That was when it hit him. Evelyn had known how to calm Lily all along. She always had. The realization burned. The next morning, the hospital social worker called. An investigation had been opened. Mandatory. Protocol. Your wife, your former spouse, will be contacted, the woman said carefully. There are concerns about long-term psychological abuse. Nathan closed his eyes. She's not allowed near my daughter. That will be documented, the social worker replied. But I need to ask, were there signs you missed? Nathan swallowed. Yes. He didn't explain that he had dismissed those signs because they came from a woman whose skin color made it easier to ignore her. After the call, Evelyn poured coffee into a chipped mug and handed it to him. You don't have to say it, she said quietly, but I need you to hear me now. Nathan nodded. I told you Lily wasn't sick, Evelyn continued. I told you she wasn't eating. You said I was overreacting, that I worried too much. You said Vanessa knew best. Her voice trembled, but she didn't stop. You never once asked why I stayed, she said. Why I risked my job every day slipping her bread, singing to her when she cried, standing between her and that woman when I could. Nathan looked up, eyes glassy. Why did you? Evelyn exhaled slowly. Because I buried a daughter who wasn't protected. And because when I spoke up back then, nobody listened either. Silence fell heavy between them. Nathan felt something collapse inside him, an identity he'd worn comfortably for decades. He had believed himself fair, progressive, not like other men with money and power. But fairness didn't mean anything if it disappeared when it was inconvenient. Later that day, Vanessa's lawyer called. She denies all allegations, the man said crisply. She claims Evelyn Brooks manipulated the child and staged the incident. Nathan laughed. It came out sharp and ugly. She's blaming the black woman, he said flatly. Of course she is. The lawyer paused. Excuse me? You heard me, Nathan replied. Tell your client not to contact my daughter again. He hung up before the man could respond. That evening, Lily asked a question that froze the room. Miss Evelyn, she whispered, curled up on the couch. Are you going to get in trouble? Evelyn smiled softly. For what, baby? For telling the truth. Nathan's breath caught. Evelyn didn't answer right away. She brushed Lily's hair gently. Sometimes, she said carefully, telling the truth costs more than staying quiet. But it costs even more to stay quiet forever. Lily nodded, serious beyond her years. The following week, the headlines hit. Local business tycoon under investigation in child abuse case. Nathan hadn't leaked the story. Vanessa had, spinning it, shaping it, feeding reporters selective truths. Comment sections exploded. Some blamed Vanessa, others blamed Nathan, and too many blamed Evelyn. She's just after money. She brainwashed the kid. These people always play the victim card. Nathan read every comment. Each one cut deeper than the last. Evelyn avoided the news, but she felt it anyway. At the grocery store, where a woman whispered too loudly. At the pharmacy, where a man stared a beat too long. One afternoon, a neighbor approached Nathan while Evelyn waited in the car with Lily. Careful who you trust, the man said, nodding toward the vehicle. People like that know how to twist stories. Nathan felt the old reflex rise, the instinct to smooth things over, to stay silent, to avoid conflict. Then he remembered Lily's drawing with no mouth. She saved my daughter, Nathan said clearly. Watch your word, the man scoffed. You're letting guilt talk. No, Nathan replied. I'm letting truth talk. At the next court hearing, Vanessa appeared flawless as ever. Tailored suit, calm smile, eyes glassy with rehearsed emotion. Her attorney painted her as a misunderstood disciplinarian, a woman ahead of her time, a victim of class resentment. Then Evelyn took the stand. She wore a simple navy dress, no jewelry, no notes. Vanessa smirked. Ms. Brooks, the attorney began, you're not medically trained, correct? No, sir. And you've worked as domestic help your entire life? Yes, sir. So isn't it possible you misunderstood Vanessa Hale's parenting methods? Evelyn met his gaze. No, the attorney frowned. You're saying a woman with degrees, resources, and expertise was abusing a child? And you, a maid, saw what no one else did? Evelyn's voice didn't shake. I saw it because I was there, because I was watching, because nobody else was. The courtroom stilled. And because, Evelyn continued, I know what happens when people decide certain voices don't matter. Nathan felt tears slide down his face. The judge leaned forward. Miss Brooks, she said gently, thank you. That night back in Maplewood, Lily fell asleep without counting breaths, without asking permission. Evelyn tucked the blanket around her and turned off the light. Nathan stood in the hallway, heart pounding with a mix of fear and resolve. The fight wasn't over. The world wasn't suddenly fair, but something had shifted. For the first time, he wasn't standing in front of Evelyn. He was standing beside her. The verdict came on a quiet Thursday morning, the kind of morning that felt deceptively ordinary. Nathan Cole sat on a wooden bench outside the courtroom. Lily's small hand wrapped around his finger. She wore a yellow sweater Evelyn had picked out, soft, warm, a color that didn't ask permission to exist. Evelyn sat beside them, posture straight, hands folded, eyes steady. She had learned long ago how to wait without shrinking. When the judge finally called them in, the room held its breath. The ruling was clear. Custody granted to Nathan. A permanent restraining order against Vanessa Hale. Mandatory therapy for Lily, supervised and protected. And then the sentence that felt like a quiet earthquake. The court formally recognized the abuse as sustained, deliberate, and psychologically coercive. Vanessa didn't look at them as the words landed. She stared forward, lips pressed tight, as if refusing to hear the sound of her own undoing. Outside, reporters swarmed. Questions flew like darts. "Mr. Cole, do you regret not acting sooner?" Nathan stepped forward. He didn't reach for Lily. He reached for Evelyn. "Yes," he said, "I regret not listening to the woman who tried to save my child when it was inconvenient for me to hear her." The microphones froze. Evelyn's eyes widened slightly. Nathan continued. "She was ignored, disbelieved, dismissed, not because she was wrong, but because of who she was, because of her skin, because of her job, and that failure almost cost my daughter her childhood." No one interrupted him. "I won't let that silence happen again," he said. "Not in my home, not in my company, not in my name." That clip went viral within hours. For the first time, the comment sections changed tone. Some people apologized. Others reflected. A few doubled down on their hate. But something had cracked open, a space where a black woman's truth could no longer be easily buried. Healing, however, did not arrive in a straight line. Lily still flinched at loud noises. She still asked for permission before eating dessert. Some nights she woke up crying, whispering that she'd done it wrong. On those nights, Evelyn sat on the floor by her bed, back against the wall, humming softly, not to distract, not to fix, just to stay. "I don't want to be perfect," Lily said one night, voice trembling. "Is that okay?" Evelyn reached out, placed a warm hand over Lily's small one. "Baby," she said gently, "you don't owe perfection to anyone. You owe yourself kindness." Lily nodded slowly, as if storing the words somewhere safe. Nathan watched these moments quietly. Each one felt like a lesson he should have learned decades ago. Weeks later, Nathan made a decision that stunned his board of directors. He stepped down as CEO, not permanently but publicly. In his place, he appointed an interim team and announced the creation of an internal oversight council focused on employee welfare, power abuse, and racial equity. He funded it himself. He placed Evelyn on the advisory panel, not as a symbol, not as a token, but as a voice with authority. When asked why, he answered simply, "Because she saw what I refused to." Evelyn didn't want the spotlight. She never had, but she accepted the role with a quiet resolve. "I won't speak for everyone," she told the council during her first meeting, "but I will speak when something isn't right, and I won't apologize for it." The room listened. In Maplewood, life settled into something gentler. Mornings were messy, pancakes burned, shoes went missing. Lily laughed louder than she ever had in the mansion. She started kindergarten again, this time by choice. On her first day, she insisted Evelyn walk her to the gate. "Will you wait for me?" Lily asked. "I'll be right here," Evelyn promised. And she was. One afternoon in early spring, Lily brought home a drawing. She held it out proudly. It showed 3 figures standing together. One tall, one small, one in between, all smiling. "What's this one?" Nathan asked. "That's our family," Lily said easily. Evelyn's breath caught. Nathan knelt beside her. "You're right," he said. "That's exactly what it is." He meant it. Months later, Nathan legally amended his will. He ensured Lily's guardianship included Evelyn's consent and care. Not because Evelyn asked, Because Nathan understood now that protection didn't come from titles, it came from presence. On the anniversary of the court ruling, they returned to the hospital. Lily brought chocolate cookies. She handed one to a nurse and grinned. "I can eat these now," she said proudly. That night, as rain tapped gently against the windows, Lily danced barefoot in the living room. No rules, no counting, just joy. Evelyn watched from the doorway, tears slipping down her cheeks. For years, she had lived in the shadows of other people's homes, cleaning, fixing, absorbing their pain without acknowledgement. Now she stood in a place where her voice mattered, where her love had been seen. Nathan joined her. "Thank you," he said quietly. Evelyn shook her head. "I didn't do it for thanks." "I know," he replied. "That's why it matters." The world outside was still imperfect. Prejudice didn't disappear. Systems didn't heal overnight. But inside that small house in Maplewood, something had changed forever. A child had been saved, a woman had been heard, and a man had learned that justice doesn't begin with power. It begins with listening. Before we close this story, I want to hear from you. How did this story make you feel? Did it move you, make you angry, or make you reflect? Do you think Evelyn's truth would have been ignored if she weren't a Black woman? If this story touched you, please comment 111 below and tell us which country you're watching from. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be heard, please share this video, because someone out there might still be waiting for their voice to matter.